Hey everyone, how are you all doing today? So one of the planets that I really wanted to show up in episode 9, just to show some leniency to the prequels and originals and even some of the spin-offs like Rogue One, was Vader's planet where he had his castle, Mustafar. This is where Anakin Skywalker fell to Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it held a very, very close personal tie to him and his turn into Vader from Anakin, and that's why Vader built his castle on this dark side planet. Now, in the comics, the planet actually had a force nexus of dark side energy. This is why Palpatine sends him there. And before his castle was ever constructed, the first time he went to the planet after, of course, becoming Darth Vader in the suit, he actually went to this Sith cave that was on the planet. You may have remembered a comic that I covered regarding this, and this is where he actually made his first lightsaber crystal bleed from the green one that he got from the Order 66 survivor Kirak Infila. Now, thanks to JJ, we actually got Mustafar in episode 9, and you might have missed it, but you also might not have. It was the very first planet we see at the very beginning of the film. We see Kylo taking out some people, and these are actually called the Alazmeks. And the scene that we see where he's taking them out is literally on the castle grounds of Mustafar. Now, a lot of you might be saying, well, why are there trees here and it's solid ground if Mustafar, especially near Vader's castle, was full of lava? Well, the reason for this can be answered in the canon game Vader Immortal. There's part 1, 2, and 3, and I've covered this in my channel. You can check it out. Now, in the event you haven't seen that video or don't want to go tracking it down, I'm going to put a little snippet of a previous pre-recorded scene regarding the game with visuals and all that. So if you want to skip that, here's the timestamp. Skip it to past that video. Otherwise, enjoy this little scene. Mustafar was once a green and lush planet filled with life. Its native inhabitants cared for it, and life was abundant. This was partly because of an object that the native Mustafarians possessed, called the Bright Star. It nourished the planet and made it thrive. On the planet also lived non-Mustafarians, including someone named Lady Corvax and her husband. They lived in peace with the people of Mustafar, and they interacted with one another. But one day, Mustafar was attacked. It doesn't say by who, but the attackers look oddly like Wookiees. Lady Corvax's husband fell in battle. She was heartbroken like Anakin was after Padme's death. So, she stole the Mustafarian's bright star, believing that it would restore life to her husband. Like the Force, though, sometimes great power is too much to control. The energy released by the bright star destroyed much of Mustafar's life, and all of its vegetation reduced it to fiery wasteland. The bright star would eventually be hidden in a temple deep within the planet, beneath where Vader's castle now stands. Inside that castle, and further down below it even, lies Lady Corvax's sanctum, a sacred place where the bright star is said to be hidden. No one can enter into it, even native Mustafarians. Only a direct descendant of Lady Corvax may go inside, but even he or she must have the key, which only Lord Vader possesses. Then, once inside, only that descendant can wield the bright star for evil or for good. Vader wants it to help him achieve immortality and presumably bring Padme back to life. The Mustafarians want it to restore the green planet to what it once was. So, who will get to it first? And will either side be able to use it for their purposes? Now, Lady Corvax, and this is actually very interesting because Corvax is in the movie. You might have missed it as well. Well, you actually would have missed it unless you got the visual dictionary book. I'll read the excerpt here and then we can go over what exactly happened to Mustafar if you may have missed the gameplay that I did. A molten world in the Outer Rim territories, Mustafar has long been gripped by destructive invisible forces of nature. Caught in a gravimetric tug-of-war between the planet Jestafed and the gas giant Lefrani, Mustafar roils like a wound that cannot heal. Such instability has turned vulnerable ores to its surface, making Mustafar a mineral trove for galactic mining conglomerates. Only within the last few decades have patches of the planet's angry surface started to cool. Off-worlders are now drawn to the hellish planet for reasons far less tangible than precious metals. Some believe the world's nature is shaped by spiritual forces, a belief born out by the planet's ancient mystical history, as well as its more recent reputation as the home of the Sith Lord, Darth Vader. Kylo soon outpaces his stormtrooper escorts as he cuts a swathe of destruction through the Alazmek, who attempted to block his path to Vader's castle, or rather, its crumbling ruins. Kylo enters the castle grounds with purpose and finds an ark containing an artifact that will lead him to answers. The name Exegol burns in his mind, and he knows that at the source of this mystery, he will find immense power. Ancient legends describe Mustafar as a garden world home to Lady Corvax, a powerful Force user obsessed with immortality. The unleashing of enormous energies in her pursuits pushed Mustafar from its original, safe orbit to a treacherous new path and caused irrevocable destruction. These legends brought the ancient Sith, seeking the same secrets of eternal life. They erected a shrine on Mustafar that would be discovered by Darth Vader early in his Sith apprenticeship. Vader himself, forever scarred by the fires of Mustafar, chose to build his castle there, within view of the site of his greatest defeat. The fortress was intended to act as a focal lens of Force power, but has long since fallen into ruins. So the place where Kylo is actually fighting these Alazmech is called Corvax Fen. The remnants of Darth Vader's castle loom above the twisted iron trees of Corvax Fen. Now, the reason there isn't lava anymore on this planet as much as there used to be, if any, is because of the Bright Star. Finally, in the game, you don't allow Vader to take hold of the Bright Star after everything in the 3rd episode, and the planet starts to slowly turn back to what it was. That's why we see these like burnt trees and everything like that, because the planet is slowly starting to return to its normal state. It's going to take probably hundreds or thousands of years, who knows, but it is returning to that state. And Corvax Fen is the area where the remnants of Vader's castle loom above the twisted iron trees. I'm very happy to confirm in canon that Mustafar was the very first planet in episode 9, and if you look around in the background, obviously I can't show pictures, but if you look around in the background, you'll be able to see some ruins that loom beyond the trees. This is crazy. The fact that Vader actually had this holocron which led to Exegol in his castle somewhere. Obviously the holocron was found within the ruins of Vader's castle, or something to do with it. He clearly knew where this was, and he had it hidden in his temple. At least it alludes to that here. So what exactly did he know of Exegol? Was he trying to find it too? Did Sidious already know where it was? This is an ancient unknown planet of the Sith, and the massive Sith temple in there, so I'm wondering if Vader ever ventured to that place. Maybe we'll see it again. I personally wish that he would have gone to Vader's castle, however now it is in ruins. So I would love to know how this came to be, and I hope we get some answers towards everything that we've been wondering in the future. Thanks for watching this video. I'll cover way more from this book to answer a lot of questions from episode 9 that we've been given, and I hope you have an awesome day. Until the next episode, remember, the Force will be with you, always.